Alrighty, guys, we are back with a brand new reaction tonight. Well, I say reaction, but it is a recap video after a botched recording. Uh, I forgot my intro. Welcome back to another Ozonics Gaming Dragonfire Real Raw Authentic Reactions, where we do the realest reactions possible, very limited editing to keep everything real and flowing as naturally as possible. Still got it. Okay. As I was saying, tonight we have Persistent Soldier reaction slash recap. If you have been following along, you already know this story. If not, then here is basically what happened. When this song first came out, which let me check on this thing, was 1 month ago, is Persistent Soldier's Rock Bottom. Official lyric video, by the way. We did record it, for like normal. The recording started off fine. Somewhere 4 minutes in, it stopped recording. Do not know why. It just did. I have a thing where I guess a lot of it's ADHD. I get hyper focused in what I'm doing, and I don't micromanage. So I don't pay as close to attention to the little red button that is on my software that's lit up. So once I see it lit up, I just go. And like I said, it stopped. So I think half the song got recorded. The other half did not. So it never saw the light of day. But due to some requests of people wanting me to, even if it was me just recapping what I've already heard, they wanted me to still do it, so I will, in fact, do that. Before we hop into this one, however, I do apologize for my camera. It looks all messed up. I think my camera is on the verge of breaking. It's the focus isn't working properly anymore. I had to kind of break something up with the settings in order to kind of get it to focus. Colors are all off. A couple settings now are doing nothing. I've already reset my firmware and all sorts of stuff. But software, it's not going in. I can't really afford right now to get a new camera, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I have my headsets on backwards. So I apologize if it looks like utter dog poo. But I've kept you long enough with that announcement. Like I said, we're gonna do a recap of Rock Bottom. Now, due to the fact that I was not sure if you guys gonna want me to react to it or not, what I ended up doing is I listened to it the one day I recorded it. I have not listened to the song one time. Yes. So this will be my second listen to it ever. So it's almost like a reaction, first time reaction. And we'll do it the same way. We'll do the listen through, unless there's something you want to talk about in the middle, then I'll pause and rewind. Otherwise, we'll just let it kind of ride straight through. And then we'll do our recap at the end. So let's flip it over to the other side and check out Citizen Soldiers, Rock Bottom, official lyric video. Or if you will, revisit. Alrighty, guys, are you ready for some Rock Bottom, Citizen Soldier, official lyric video? Let's go.
It's been one of those days, counting down the seconds till I can just go to sleep. Forget my whole existence, cause everything's wrong, nothing goes right, I'm done. Whenever I say it couldn't get worse, it does. Had enough, now the hope feels hollow. Try to run, but my demons follow. Feels like I'm always falling. When will I hit rock bottom? Somebody better read my vitals. I'm getting close to suicidal. Life don't run out of problems. When will I hit rock bottom? Sick of holding on, sick of holding on. When will I hit rock bottom? Sick of being strong, sick of being strong. When will I hit rock bottom?
YouTube.
Been praying God must hate me 'cause nobody cares and nobody's there when I call.
That line still hurts.
Fighting off thoughts that say I should end it all.
Yep.
Had enough, now the hope feels hollow. Try to run, but my demons follow. Feels like I'm always falling. When will I hit rock bottom? Somebody better read my vitals. I'm getting close to suicidal. Life don't run out of problems. When will I hit rock bottom?
Amazing solo.
My breaking points so far behind. My limits in the review. I've crossed every line 1,000 times. I should have died. How much can one heart take? How am I still alive?
I ask myself that all the time.
Had enough, now the hope feels hollow. Try to run, but my demons follow. Feels like I'm always falling. When will I hit rock bottom? Somebody better read my vitals. I'm getting close to suicidal. Life don't run out of problems. When will I hit rock bottom? Sick of holding on, sick of holding on. When will I hit rock bottom? Sick of being strong, sick of being strong. When will I hit rock bottom? It's been one of those nights.
Gorgeous ending.
Staring at the ceiling, wondering why I'm alive.
Me too, man. More often than I'll ever admit. Alright, guys. And recording completed this time. That was Citizen Soldiers' Rock Bottom official lyric video. Let's flip it to the other side. I will give my final thoughts on Rock Bottom. Hope to see you there. Alright, guys. That was Citizen Soldiers' Rock Bottom official lyric video. I'm going to give that an 8.3. I really did enjoy the song the first time. I enjoy it equally as much this time as well. It was very well made. Lyric video, visuals were top notch. The vocals were awesome as always. The guitar was banging. Drum work was good as well, as always. Lyrically, it was very, very good. A very, very deep song that a lot of people can relate to. That I'm sure of. Anyways, you know, it's that thing, you know, that saying that sometimes you have to hit, you know, rock bottom to kind of rebuild yourself and to come out better. So it's, when am I going to hit rock bottom? Yeah, so you keep on going, you're waiting for that point that people are talking about. And it just never seems to be a never-ending pitfall. You know, it's like that movie. There's a couple of them, but Bill and Ted, if you haven't seen it, they were getting portaled into kind of hell, and in one of their movies, and they were screaming at first, but the pitfall was so long. It went on for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes, which seemed to be a never-ending hole. And that's kind of what this is, you know, painting that image of feeling that way. You know, and I don't think the rock bottom analogy works for everybody. There are a lot of people that hit rock bottom that don't bounce back from it, and it doesn't help. You know, and they had that line that accompanied that as well. It seems like life will never run out of problems, right? That is what it seems like, and that's the reality of the world, honestly. It's a cool analogy of what they're doing there, you know, because seeming like it's never running out of problems, so you're never hitting your rock bottom. But in reality, it's the truth. You're never running out of problems. You know, nobody has a perfect life. Even the people that seem like super happy and all that, they have problems. People with depression, they have problems. People with PTSD, they have problems. people that have anxiety, generalized anxiety, social anxiety, performance anxiety, body dysmorphia, you name it, everybody has problems. Nobody goes through this life without problems. That's the one thing everybody has in common. Besides, everybody has to live and die. Outside of that, everybody walking this earth, from the quote unquote upper echelon to the lower tiered people. I don't like using any of those analogies. Point being, everybody, every single person is walking through this life. Problems, and your problems will never end, unfortunately. It's just hopeful that the big ones, and you can roll with the small ones, but you want the traumas and the bad memories, the anxieties, and stuff like that. Another really good line that I really loved was, "My breaking point so far behind." Something about the limit being lost in the rear view. I can't remember the exact word for word, but that is a line. It's because it's the thing when you're dealing with depression, anxiety, PTSD, number of mental health disorders. In a lot of cases, I would say even most cases, people are past their breaking point. They bent to the point that they've been broken far, far along. So yeah, we're all past. I know I am. And laying awake in bed wondering why you're alive. Like I said, for me, that's a thing more than I'll admit that I ask. And the thing we also talked about, they had a line with as well, running away from my demons, but they follow. We've talked about in this channel several times about that you can't, you can run away from a lot of things in life, right? You can leave the state, leave the country, run away from, family, friends, work, your problems, that are maybe localized into your household or your job or whatever current situation is kind of there. That's not mental. It's not mental. But at the end of the day, no matter how far you run, no matter where you go, whether it's in a city, a town, BFE, you're left with yourself. The one thing you will never, ever, ever be able to escape is yourself. So, your demons are going to always be there with you if they're not handled. Easier said than done. That's why I never preach that. Dude, get therapy, get medication, dude. Everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own journey of healing. Some is a lifelong journey. Some are faster than others. As I say, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So take your time with that. But the point being that those demons will always reside in your head and have dominion over you until it's dealt with. Or at the very least, if not fully dealt with, coped with. I use that because I refuse to deal with it. I've tried to kind of do the therapy thing in the past. It's like opening up Pandora's box that seemingly makes me 10 billion times worse. I have been S-word amplified from therapy sessions. They do not help me. I don't know if my area just has bad people that just really don't give a shit, honestly, or what it is necessarily. There are great ones out there, though. I am aware of that. None that is around my area or ones that I could afford ever. So, tis what it is with that. But, so for me, I don't medicate anymore. It took so much out of me physically. I've been taking medication on and off since I was a young teenager. Took so much out of me. Even with the evolution of medicine through that time period, it's still, I have gotten so many side effects that it's crazy. And beyond just the sheer amount of ADA's side effects, it doesn't help at the end of the day. It seems like it does, but it's really just another mask for you to put on. It just mutes your problems, it doesn't fix them. So then you're going to be kind of dependent on that stuff, both feeling like shit physically and mentally, and exhausted from everything they do to you, plus always having to kind of be on it until your body kind of adjusts to it, right? And then it doesn't work anymore. And then they either increase the dosage or put you on a whole combination of cocktails. So I cope with understanding that I have mental health issues. They don't have me. I'm sure you heard me say that line a bunch, as well as understanding it and understanding, that I'm stronger than it is. So I have so many bad days. I have not attempted anything bad in 8 years, 9 years. Not to say those thoughts don't creep in, that's just the situation, but never takes hold of me. But not easy either. But my coping, I'll have my lows, and if I'm being honest, my lows are every day, multiple times a day. Some I can control, some I can't really. I have, the only way I could put it is unknowing triggers with some of this stuff. It's something in my subconscious buried that I am not aware of. So it could be the most mundane thing that I wouldn't think would be a trigger, and my switch is flipped in like 0.1 nanoseconds. It could be watching a funny comedy movie and a word said, or a visual that's even in the background that my brain obviously is paying attention to, and boom. So I would emphasize not to necessarily do the coping thing, because that one is much harder to do. If you can do it, it's better than the medication, in my experience. But I would still emphasize having somebody to talk to, as well as therapy, if you are okay with that. If you don't have, anxieties, it's going to make you kind of a situation, or a history of a lot of failures with that. If you have your ways of getting to like good therapists, because like I said, I'm sure there are many good ones out there. There's just a lot of bad ones. A lot of bad ones. That's what I would do for anybody else. Because you don't want to have the ups and downs, mostly downs, that I have. It made me stronger, because my worst days are I think they concreted me. I used to hear stuff, auditory hallucinations that were heavy, that crippled me. I've had that in check, though. I don't even know how many years for that. It's been over 10 years. Not that they don't, there's not like creeping in the background, but it's almost muted in a way. Don't ask me how I accomplished that. Sheer stubbornness, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, different mechanisms of dealing with it because you can't escape your demons is the point. You can't. If you want any semblance of what society would tell you is happiness and normalcy, running away from it and burying it like me, won't fix it. You can patch it up a little bit, kind of what I do. You know, it's broken, I just patch it up and keep moving. Because, like I said, I have a whole thing, you know, between my anxieties and my past, with past therapists and past run-ins in mental hospitals and stuff like that. Just not good memories. So on top of my traumas and my schizoaffectiveness and my depression and my anxieties, that stuff's lingering there. So I got a lot working against me. So I use the tools that I'm equipped with. And that's the best anybody can do, is using all the tools you're equipped with to the best of your ability to push forward the best that you can. I do hope you guys enjoyed this recap / reaction to Citizen Soldier Rock Bottom. It was good being able to actually recap it and relive it again and get this video out for you guys. I do hope you enjoyed it, even if it was for a second. I do appreciate it. We will be back with Citizen Soldier's new reaction right after this video. If you're watching it on 6/5/2024, which is today. I know a lot of people will be watching this tomorrow or a year from now, and that won't make any sense, which is why I said the date. So thank you for everybody that came through, though, for this recap / reaction. I do appreciate it. Remember, you're an awesome person, capable of awesome things, no matter what your mind will tell you. As always, I will always leave a light on for anybody that needs it. Even when you feel alone, you are never alone. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be in this reaction. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.